All right, everyone, we're back to talk about this bunt play because it's getting a ton of attention, way more attention than I realized it was going to get. I put a video up yesterday breaking it down pretty quickly in the morning, the next morning, and I've had almost 150,000 views on it already. The comment section is interesting, to say the least. I made a bunch of notes over here. We had Jimmy Rollins come out and break the play down more. We've had a bunch of analysts come out. We've had all the interviews come out now. And so I'm going to go over my notes. First thing, comment section is awesome. So the main thing that a lot of people are upset about is the play worked. You don't know what you're talking about. Why try to fix something that isn't broken? Who are you to think that you can run a play better than Mookie or better than the Dodgers? You're just mad because you're a Phillies fan and the Dodgers won. I don't care who won. I'm not a fan of any team. I'm literally just watching the play and trying to figure out, is there a way to make it better? I'm a coach. That's what a coach does in every sport. Second thing, real quick, before we get into it, I'm not sitting in my underwear in my mom's basement watching plays. I've sat in meetings and on the field with Buddy Black, Buck Showalter, Terry Francona. Doc Roberts, who's the manager of the Dodgers, was my first base coach when I was on the Padres. I literally worked with Doc on bunting. So I've had the opportunity to sit with really, really bright baseball minds. And I'm not calling out these guys and saying, they're dumb, what are they thinking? I'm just saying, could it be run better? And I also like making these because it forces me to really think about it and see exactly what they did. And again, I just put in bunt defenses with our teams. And when I'm doing that, I'm thinking about, okay, Buck Showalter ran it this way because he said that we can disguise the wheel better if we do it like this. And then we can have a wheel pick on the backside. And Buddy Black did it like this because he said this, or Tito Francona said that. So when I'm sitting at my desk and I'm watching this and I'm thinking, how are we going to run it? And yes, I coach at the college level now, and a lot of people are like, you're not even in the pros. You're only at college, or you're only at high school, or whatever. It doesn't really matter where I'm currently at. I'm literally thinking about all the different ways that those guys ran it and what is the best way. There might not be a best way, but in my mind, you're weighing that risk reward of being able to make the play successfully and make it easier on your players while also, yes, disguising against the slash. I know a lot of people are like, the slash play, have you ever heard of it? Yes, I've heard of the slash play. I know what the slash is. So anyways, let's get into it. So I think the first thing and the important thing is Mookie's timing. Let's start there. We got a lot of stuff to go over. So if you don't like baseball, then you probably want to get off this video. Mookie's timing. Now, the Phillies have come out, Rob Thomson came out and said that he did a great job of breaking late and disguising it. And so what I had said was, I like to send him just a little bit earlier. So the pitcher is looking, and then he is going to be right here, and he is going to break. And the second you see him break this way, that gives him an extra bit of a running head start. You pitch immediately. I'm not saying, I think people might have not understood what I said. I'm not saying make Mookie run 40 feet and then pitch the ball. Clearly, if you do that, you are giving it away too early. But you are going to break and then pitch. If they do slash, if they do recognize that, well, then you slam on the brakes and you defend your position. And again, the reason why I wanted to do that is because this is a really difficult play. And I said, this was an amazing play. You have a great athlete here. You have a great throw here. But I thought that by doing it this way, yes, we're disguising it more, but he's got to throw the ball. He just fielded it. He has to throw a ball and put it right there to a guy in a full sprint who's got to get there, turn, catch, tag. Like, that's a tough play. Now, they got it right and they executed it perfectly. And my mind says, okay, if we run this 100 times, how many times will we execute that perfectly? Is it a little too difficult to do that? Maybe it's not. Maybe Mookie and Muncy are so unbelievable that we're going to get it 100 out of 100 times. And we completely disguise the play so that the slash won't work at all. And maybe they'll run it differently. Again, I understand that Mookie's faster than Castellanos, so he's going to beat him there. And so we can disguise it a little bit more. I just don't know if this is a sustainable way to run the play. And I know someone said they ran a wheel play on a certain date. I can't remember the date. If you can put it in the comment section below again, let me know so I can look it up and see if they disguised it like this or if they ran it differently. So maybe this is just kind of going rogue and Mookie said, I don't need to go early. I can go later. I'm faster than him. We're all great athletes. And maybe it is that I'm just a coach and I'm not coaching Mookie Betts, that I want to try to make things a little bit simpler and a little bit easier on our guys. Again, could be wrong. Those are just my thoughts. Now, I have a few more thoughts. The other thing is everyone kept saying slash, 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 which I totally agree. If they see the wheel, some teams will pull back and slash. I'm curious, this is just a thought, how many times have the Phillies slashed this year or over the last 2 to 3 years? Now, I went and found, I think, 7 bunt attempts with a man on second base. Maybe there were a few more. I found 7. There weren't very many. The other team didn't run a wheel on any of them. They bunted every ball. So I couldn't find any slash attempts. Maybe they did it this year. But bunting has almost been erased from the game in the regular season especially. So if bunting's been basically erased from the game, then that means slashing has been almost completely erased. I don't know the last time I saw a slash again. You can let me know in the comment section. I don't watch every single baseball game. So the possibility that the slash, yes, could be there. But how many times have they run it? Have they run it at all? How many wheels have they actually seen? How many times do they practice the slash bunt? I know we don't have answers to all this stuff, but I'm interested. Like, have they ever practiced a slash bunt in batting practice? And again, you can just say, well, they're pros and they'll figure it out. Bunting is very hard, as people see. When you don't practice bunting a lot, bunting's very hard. Slashing is not easy. I've slashed in games before, but we practiced that a ton. I mean, bunting, when I played, was way more prevalent. It's almost non-existent today. So would they even been able to execute a slash? Would they have recognized it and said, I haven't seen this in a year or 2 years or however many years, we're going to slash? Not saying they wouldn't, just all questions I'm asking myself. Okay, let's get into more stuff. Now, people said he was disguising the play, right? So this is the first one right here, because it happened twice. They did it 0-0. They ran the wheel both times. So I want to go in slow motion here. Watch Mookie. So this is 0-0. Mookie is going to start to creep. And so again, if you're taught to slash on the wheel, then you're looking for movement here. You're watching Mookie. And so you see him starting to creep. Why is he creeping that way? Why? He's still creeping. He picks up his leg right here. The batter goes to square. He goes and takes off right here, right? So you see this right here. Now at this point, you probably can't stare at him, but you see movement of him running. So could you technically pull back and slash at that point? It might be a little bit late. It's tough to say. But here's the thing. Okay, there goes Mookie. We take the pitch. Okay. Now, we all know that they just ran the wheel play. So this is where it gets interesting. If you're the Phillies, do you take the bunt off? You just saw that they disguised it, right? I'm looking out there. Ooh, they ran the wheel, but they didn't run it early. They ran it very late. Almost looks like they're trying to disguise the wheel right here. Do we take the bunt off completely? Because we have Castellanos at second base. Look at his secondary. Not a big secondary, not an aggressive secondary, right? He's not very fast. They're crashing the infielders hard, the corner guys. I don't think we can make it. Do we take it off? Do we have a sign that just says, hey, just slash it here to the next one? We're just going to take a gamble and guess that they're going to run it again. Let's get ready to pull back and slash. And if they don't run it, then we just take the pitch and we're 1-1 or we're 2-0, right? Because if you watch this, watch him here again. Watch. Creeping, go. Okay? Now, let's go to the next pitch. Here we go. Next pitch. He's even a little bit more to the right here. Creeping, go. Right? So they did it the same way both times. So you already know they ran a wheel and you saw how they did it. So you have to be anticipating. And if I see he's creeping, he just creeped, he's creeping again. Like, if I'm taught to pull back, I think that you could still technically pull back in time. I go to show, they show late. So I'm getting ready to show. I see him creeping. He just did this. Pitcher lifts his leg. I go. There he goes. Pull back, slash. You could still technically slash. They just gave you the way they're going to run it. Now, are they going to run he's going to fake and he's going to creep and then he's going to stop and he's going to come back? I don't know. Again, this is where advanced scouting comes in. I'd have to go through and watch every single Dodgers game and see how many times they ran the wheel play against the bunt. I don't have time to do that. I have a real job. But if you don't think he could slash, at least you could say, do we want to bunt into this possible late wheel play? Let's take the bunt off. I don't think it's going to work. Or let's just call a straight up slash if they even have a sign for that. Usually you don't even have a slash sign. You just have a bunt sign with the slash built in. It's an option if you see the wheel. Not everybody has that built in, but most people have it built in. And then my last thing is like, you just saw the late delay the pitch before. So do we tell Castellanos like, hey, they're running the wheel and they're disguising it, it's late. Get a bigger secondary. Get off the bag a little bit. You're going to have to get a better jump to beat Mookie there. He's faster than you. And I know it's hard to communicate this quickly, but you've got 20 or so seconds to be able to yell out there and let them know that they're running the wheel play. Now, I got more stuff that we got to talk about if you're still here. So Jimmy Rollins came on and he gave like a big talk on what should have been done differently. And he said, never ever on a bunting situation like this line up in the line. He said, you always got to get back here and push the shortstop back and be basically right on him. You want to be way back here. I will say, I'm not Jimmy Rollins' unbelievable player. I've played for 5 professional teams. I talked about playing for Buck Showalter and Tito Francona and Buddy Black and all these guys. I've never been taught to do that before. I've never been taught that you get back into the shortstop and you push him back. I don't know if I've really seen that. I've always been taught you're in the line right here. So again, that could just be, I sat in my office yesterday and thought about what he said for a while. Talked to all of our coaches like, okay, is this better than being in the line? Like, get back here. He even showed like a unique way of doing it. He showed like you get here and then you like face the guy and you're like basically talking to him like this. He said, because you can't get a pick here from the backside. Now, again, I'm not getting off subject. This has to do with it. I know some people are like, stop rambling. We had a play in Baltimore where we called it a wheel pick, where this guy would be just a tiny bit closer. And when this guy took off, this guy would break in behind. And so I know Jimmy said you get back here and you don't have any danger over here. And even if this guy is close, this guy's going to let you know if he's breaking in. Well, depending on how far back you get, if you get pushed back here, right, you're going to push back and you're going to say, I'm going to get in this guy's lap right here. What if he pushes back a little bit further? Do you keep going with him? If your body's turned, how do you then turn and get back here if we run the wheel pick? If he takes off and we break back here with a wheel pick play, like how do you get back? So a lot of questions. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm going through it and being like, interesting, would that work? The other thing is, the more you push back, right? So let's say Mookie is here and you start to push back into his lap. What could Mookie do? Mookie can push back further. Are you going to keep pushing back, pushing back, pushing back, pushing back? I know that Jimmy said you can take a lead anywhere. He's like, you can take a lead in center field. Obviously, you can, but you're not going to do that. And he said that. But Mookie could keep pushing back here and have you in the way back of the dirt. Now you're a mile from third base. You're never going to get to third base. Mookie could push this way a little bit. Now you're going to follow him over here. Again, now you can never get there on the bunt. So you've got to be careful. The more you push back, the further you're getting away from third base. And I know his point was that you can watch this guy. And so when he takes off, he said, you just follow him. So he takes off. And again, you follow him. So you've got to be like, he was literally watching him. But I just feel like you're opening up a lot of danger if a team has a different type of pick, if they've got the wheel pick from the backside of the second baseman. The last thing a lot of people said was, if you go on the wheel and the bunt is put down, just stop and go back because there's no one there. So watch, like if we play this, right? Let's say that Castellanos right here, he starts to, right here, he's going to start to go right here and he goes, oh shoot. They did a wheel play. He's beating me. Stop and go back. So if he slams on the brakes, people were like, a lot of people said in those comments section, they were like, he only has to stop and go back because nobody's here, and now we have first and second. Well, if he stops right here, let's say he slams on the brakes, Will Smith is going to go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and he's going to pick the ball up here, and he's going to throw the ball to first base, and we're going to get him out, and he's going to go back, and now we've got a man at second with 1 out. And you might say, well, just keep going further. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. And then right here, be like, okay, now I'm out. Now I can go back. Well, Freddie's coming this way to get there. And an outfielder, technically, like he could be flying in here. So if he stopped here, well, then Freddie's going to beat him to the bag and we're going to throw it there. So the whole idea of like stopping, like reading and be like, oh, bad bunt, I'm going to stop and go back. You really can't. I mean, you can stop and go back and not be out, but we're going to pick the ball up. Look at how close they are. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Pick it up, throw it to first base. Out. Even if he turned here and looked and goes, oh, he has already started to go back. Look at where the batter is. He's barely out of the box. I just pivot my feet, throw to first base. He's out by 20 feet. So I've never seen anybody stop and go back on the wheel play. Now, I know we just covered a million things. If you don't like baseball, you're probably gone. If you do like baseball, you might still be like, Matt, shut up and stop talking. But I'm going to finish it with, this is obviously an extremely important play. These are all the things going through my head. These are all the things going through a lot of managers' heads. This was unique, showing this so late. And there's so many people talking about it and so many different things. And one thing I will say, I'm going to end it with this, then I'll shut up. So many people say, this guy was a good player, listen to him, he's a genius. This guy is a manager, listen to him, he's a genius. This guy's in pro ball for 15 years, listen to him, he's a genius. This guy isn't in pro ball right now, shut up, you're an idiot. I'm not saying that I'm super smart. I'm just saying that I've been around the game enough and been around enough players to know that not every player that played in the big leagues or every coach that's in the big leagues has everything exactly right. And so I try to listen to everybody, and then I give my opinion based on playing, based on hearing like all these people talk about this stuff, hearing all these great players say things, seeing great players contradict each other or fight with each other because one guy who's been in the big leagues for 15 years and is an all-star and another guy that's been in the league for 12 years and is an all-star are saying things that are the opposite, and they're fighting back and forth. So who's right? Who's wrong? You can't just say, well, they're MVPs or they're all-stars, so they know everything. That's not always the case. Some players are just great players. And I'll end it again with, I'm not saying anybody's wrong. I'm just saying that you can easily have a conversation, break it down, and think of pluses and minuses, risk and reward. There could be a better way to do it. There might not be. I could be wrong on all of this stuff. But if I don't sit through it and talk through it, then I won't know. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel with the notification. I'll give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you later.